Hello, it's Dr. NELLIE KANGWA again, your marriage expert and relationship coach. Today we are going to enter right inside marriage. Well, this has been birthed as a result of the so many questions that I've been receiving since I posted something on Facebook. Let me just read to you what I posted the other day. It had to do with real women conversations, and I was simply getting on the toes of women. So I said, I've always wondered why lovemaking becomes a struggle for most married women. I'm saying so because I sit on the other side of the chair and I see a lot of women struggle when it comes to lovemaking. So here are the questions that I was asking on Facebook. I said, is it lack of sexual art and skill? Is it lack of romance? Is it loss of vaginal muscle elasticity? Is it loss of nerve-ending sensitivity? Is it sexual limiting beliefs? Is it wrong or routine positions? Is it loss of love connection? Is it dating bedsheets? Okay, that's one can get you laughing. So I'm saying that as a woman, you initiate meals in the kitchen, you initiate decoration in the sitting room, how the chairs must be, what color of chairs, and whatever it is that you've got to put in your house, the decor. Now, when you can do all these things, including the soaps that you've got to put in your bathroom. So who said it's a man to initiate lovemaking? Because many women, when I'm talking to them, they say it's actually a man's duty to initiate lovemaking. I've always wondered, why should it be so? Because if you are initiating in most of the things, why should it be that when it comes to lovemaking, it has to take your husband? So 4 years ago, I did a research. The sample had about 700 married women, aged between 30 to 50 years old, middle high class income women. These are working class women, these are business women. And so I did that research. My findings were very alarming. I actually discovered that 5% of these women make love approximately 3 to 4 times per week, 5% only, which means they make love about 144 times out of 365 days. 10% make love approximately twice per week, which is about 96 times out of 365 days. And then we have 15%, which make love at least once in 3 months. Yes, once in 3 months. Which means, this is alarming, which means 4 times out of 365 days. Then we had about 25% who make love approximately once per week, which is about 48 times out of 365 days. We have large number here, 45%, they make love approximately once or twice per month. Once or twice per month, which is about 12 to 24 times out of 365 days. And I was asking, can these statistics be part of the reason why there's increased cases of infidelity and divorce? Because we have increased cases of infidelity. So before I get to some of the questions that I was receiving in my inbox after I made this post, let me go back to the questions that I've posed here. Is it lack of sexual art and skill? Question is, how many women actually take time to learn the art of lovemaking? Because I think many people think like this is really something for an unbeliever out there, especially for Christians. This is something for a prostitute out there. But I have also discovered in interaction, I've interacted with a lot of women, I've discovered that most women, most married women, they lack the art. The skill, they don't learn the skill. And so many times I take women in a group, in a WhatsApp group, some of them, they have to come physically and we do some exercises just to help ourselves. I show them some of the exercises they're supposed to be doing, just normal exercises like, losing weight, because you see that many times when you've gotten married, you start having children, you start, gaining weight, you're busy, and so you start losing the skill, of lovemaking. It is important important. And this, I am directing it to women at this particular time because the post was directed to women. I know that many times when I'm addressing a particular group, the other group will arise and say, you know what, why are you talking to us? Why can't you tell the men? So for now, just permit me to address a woman because that is the post. That is what prompted this particular, video recording. So it's important for you as a woman to learn the art, to have the skill, of lovemaking. You've got to study your man. You've got to study your body. You've got to know which positions, make you to climax quickly, and what type of romance do you and your husband, have, and what is it that you're going to adopt in your home. Very, very important, because if you lack the skill, I'm telling you the truth, I think I'm able to answer the question. This is why there is increased infidelity. This is why there is increased divorce, because many times you find that when you find the causes of divorce, they usually come from the issues to do with infidelity. But we are actually sorting out fruits and not dealing with the roots. And the root is just what is going on in the bedroom. So the skill is very important. You've got to revisit. And I'm not going to get into the details of the skill because I do this, for coaching purposes. If you are interested, for you to get into the drill of being coached on learning the art and the skill, in your marriage. The other thing is the lack of romance. Many times, yes, because even the man on the other side, they actually don't know where to touch. Many men don't know where to touch. So it is up to you, because I'm talking to you as a woman. It's up to you to talk. You need to learn to talk, to say, hey, where you are touching, I'm not feeling anything, So you'll be there touching on your ankle and you're like, what are you doing, dude? So you've got to guide. There's need, for you to have this romance. And so romance ranges from, kissing, from touching. And there are people who don't even know kissing. They would get all their saliva and all their tongue inside you and all that. So you will see that sometimes you may even be getting irritated, but because you're not communicating, the person may be doing wrong things because there's no communication. So I believe romance is all about communication. You've got to communicate. This is how I feel good. When you touch me here, this is how I feel. So you talk. If it's not really, being verbal in your discussion, or, just verbalizing, you may actually make some sounds. You've got to make him know that when it's like that, then I feel this way. There has to be that announcement. So you're not supposed to feel shy. Many people feel shy to explore their bodies and to understand the aspect of romance, because the reason why you actually fail to climax is because there is no adequate romance. There is a rush. There's not much discovering of our bodies. And then the other question I was asking here is that, is it loss of vaginal muscle elasticity? As we all know, normal delivery takes out a baby's head. And the baby's head is big like this, going through the vagina that is very, very small. So eventually that, elasticity of the vaginal muscles is actually lost eventually when you've been to labor 2-3 times. It just can mess up your vaginal muscle. So you don't see it. I don't just say, because I went to labor ward, so that's why I'm like this. There are different things a woman can do to bring back, her muscle elasticity. There's so many exercises, and I teach all these in those closed up groups of exactly what you can do to bring back your muscle elasticity, which brings back the nerve ending sensitivity. When you learn those exercises that you've got to do to bring back the elasticity, even the nerve endings, they get restored. So this thing, it is really just up to you. Do you want to sustain your marriage? Do you want to enjoy sex? You've got to embark on some of these things. The other thing is sexual limiting beliefs. There are a lot of sexual limiting beliefs. I think most of you, especially where I grew up from, there was always this thing of making sex look bad. The parents were trying to help us not to indulge in sex. So they scared that sex is bad. This is going to happen to you. And so without you knowing, you've got all these limiting beliefs in your unconscious mind. And as you all know, your unconscious mind controls about 97% of the activities that you are facing or that you're going through. So what is it that you were told about lovemaking or about sex? When you first got to know about sex, what was the announcement? The very first mention of the word sex and the very first time you experienced it, how did you experience it? That can bring about limiting beliefs, and this is why it has drawn many women not to even initiate, especially this part of Africa, because they will tell you as a woman, you don't have to show like you really are a sexual person, so you need to be humble in bed, you need to, you sleep in a certain way where your husband has to be the one to tell you and all that. It is all, I think, outdated. It's an outdated information, outdated wisdom, seriously, because you need to know all those limiting beliefs can cause you actually not to enjoy this marriage, enjoy sex, because God created this for both people to enjoy, both woman and man to enjoy. But limiting beliefs have caused a lot of couples to actually go years after years and there's nothing to look forward to. Because if this thing is really that good, that I know it is good, why do you give excuses? Why do you say, I'm tired, or I don't want? And with the statistics here where people are making love once per month, hello, something is not right. Something is wrong, because if it's something like, for example, if you love Indian food, if you love your breakfast, if you love your lunch, don't you think that you actually look forward to have that meal? So why are you not enjoying? Why are you not looking forward? It is because probably the way things are done, the way the meal is cooked, the way the romance is done. So you need to revisit some of those limiting beliefs, because the moment you get to align your mind to look at love making, to look at sex as something that is bringing the two of you together and to express love and, as a sign of worship, if you actually in the other world of Christianity, you see that it's more detailed, more than just somebody getting on top of you. It is very important for us to have that understanding, because limiting beliefs will cause you not to actually tap into the new ways of doing things and into enjoying the way you are supposed to enjoy. So you've got to actually do some cleaning up of some, mind, because the filters of your mind, if you are clogged up with wrong information, I think it is going to really be a disadvantage on your part. The other reason I stated here is it because of wrong positions or routine, positions. Wrong positions also, it's based on your body structure. You may find yourself, your pelvic floor is, is very, very shallow. And so if you like this missionary position, which I like telling people, looking at Jesus, the author and the finish of your faith, you're always looking at and all that. So if that's the position, and maybe you've got a big stomach and maybe your husband has got a pot belly, it may not be the best position, because to reach the G spot may actually be a challenge because of your pelvic floor. So even the positions that you actually adopt, very important, because if you have wrong position or routine, same things you even know to say, now it's standing like this, now you will be breathing like this, and now the other one, anything that you do all the time, same thing, you get bored. It's not exciting. So I believe you've got to revisit also the area of positions. You've got to actually have the most comfortable ones. So explore different positions, and before you climax, you can do 2, 3. You can change positions like 2 to 3 times. And you end with one which is most comfortable, which causes you to read. You guys, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying, because you know these things. So you've got to explore, and don't feel shy. Tell your partner to say, what, this position makes me to feel uncomfortable. I can't breathe properly, or you are too heavy. Well, if you bring your whole body on me, you need to have such discussions. There are some people don't like from the back. It's like, I don't feel good. The others, that's what they really love, because, it goes straight to the G spot. Others, they feel, I've got to see you, I've got to look at you. So it is up to a couple coming up with positions that are going to be, comfortable. The other question I asked you is it loss of love connection? This is big, because the moment you've lost that love connection, there's no connection between the two of you, there's no chemistry between the two of you, you feel like a duty. This is why many women, make love as a duty, and it's wrong to do that. So the first thing that needs to happen is you've got to find that spark. You've got to recreate that spark. You've got to refresh yourself so that you can get the spark again. The person you love, you want to make love with them. The person you love, you want to express your love, with them. And so if you lost the love spark, that is what you may want to start working on, because the moment you start working on that, I think a lot of things are going to go great, because you will feel great if you love the person and you're making love. So if it's been lost along the way, for the fact that you've gotten married, it means that spark was there. There's no person who marries the person they don't love. For you to make that commitment, it means you actually love the person. So recreate what has caused the loss of the connection. What is it? Is it unforgiveness? Is it because of maybe the person has lost the job and you're failing to respect them because maybe you're the one who's working as a woman and he's not providing? So because he's not providing, you have mixed all the roles and everything, and you have just, created that distance between the two of you, because you are knocking off late and you think, oh, he was just at home, he was just sitting. So there's so much self-talk that you could be having. That is why you've lost that spark. So you need to revisit what has caused the spark to be lost, what has caused the love to actually end. Okay, the final reason I put here, this is not really conclusive, because there are several reasons out there, but these are just a few that I picked. Is it dirty bed sheets? Is it a dirty room? Because I remember, one time we visited, Durban with my husband, and we were like little children there. Great things happened. You know what? I realized it was because of the beautiful room, just the change of environment. It was serene. It was so beautiful. The bed sheets were so beautiful, Egyptian thread. I realized to say, look, if just the way the room is looking can ignite my brain. Remember, love making is in the brain, sex is in the brain, and so whatever you are seeing, you see same thing, same duvet, same curtains, same side, same everything. There is usually that loss of enjoyment or loss of spark. So you may want to revisit that place also. I realize, if this is what is happening, how about if I can turn my bedroom, my one room, into a 5-star? And from that time, it's almost over 8 years now. I change bed sheets every day. I changed, I removed all the colors and I began to invest in white bed sheets. I would go to, whenever I go shopping, I want to look out for, nice thread, Egyptian thread. And I look for, that nice, bed sheet, which is, just touching your body when you are there. It just adds to the spark of having sex with your spouse. From time to time, try and change the curtains, change the duvet, change the pillows. These pillows have different colors, and just add color to your room. It will actually add a lot of value to your love making, because I think the pain of going through issues of infidelity is just too much. The pain of dealing with, your spouse finding another person is just too much. So why not work on the things that can prevent some of those things? And by the way, you are doing yourself a favor. It's not even about the other person. It's really about you. This whole thing is just about you. Love making is about you. When you make it about the other person, that is where you make a mistake. That is where you err, because you are thinking it is about this person. It's like you just like sex. It's just like, come on, this thing is good. Climaxing is good. It relaxes your body. It just creates that bond between the two people. If this thing was not that good, God wouldn't have created it for marriage, So love making is not just for producing children. It is just also for excitement, for just feeling good. And now, if you get the understanding of the art in this and the good in it, you will pay much more attention, because the issue of getting divorced because of all these things that you could have avoided, but because you were so careless and you did not avoid and you did not work on it, you did not add value to it, and then you've got to nurse issues of infidelity, nurse issues of divorce. It's cumbersome. It is cumbersome. So you've got to really work at these things. You've got to really pay attention, because you not just sit there and say, oh, it's all right, it's okay. Whether if you want, you can go. No. You've got to pay attention. So these are some of the reasons that, the questions that I put here. And I am hoping that these statistics can change as we are doing these trainings. And if you can even just come over, approach me, let's talk. You and your husband, you and your wife, come, let's talk and let's try and improve your marriage, because these are things that I've learned. I've gone to school to teach you on how to love, how to make love, and how to grow in your relationship as husband and wife. We've got to change these statistics. So when I posted this particular post, there were a lot of questions that hit my inbox. So I extracted just a few, and let's see how many I can cover right now.